Alright, in this video we're going to show another way to make decisions, and we are going to use the switch statement, which is in chapter 3. And what you're going to do here is you're going to take the variable that you're comparing, and then you're going to set out some conditions, and whichever condition matches the code associated with that executes. So a good reason to use a switch is when you have a whole lot of options that you don't want to have a bunch of if, then, else, if, else, if, else, if, else, if, else. So what you're going to do is you're going to set up a different structure, tell the browser to find which one it matches, and then execute that case. So what we're going to do is I finally remembered to pre-type this out so you didn't have to watch it. And I also have some of my code or my content pre-copied onto another notepad that I'll be copying and pasting in. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set up a little program using the switch statement that allows the user to enter the date or the day of the week that they want to see the special for from our menu. And so we're going to have values for Sunday through Saturday, and depending on which word the user types in, it will retrieve or display that menu option. So we're going to go ahead and set up our script tag. And we're going to come in and we're going to use a prompt. So we're going to set up a variable of menu, day menu, we'll call it. And we're going to set that equal to a prompt, which day, this is bad grammar, but which day of the week would you like to see the special for? Again, not an English class, we probably would need to refine that a little bit, but you get what we're asking. We're asking them what day, they're going to type in a day, and we're going to show them the special for that day. So we're going to come in and we're going to use a switch for day menu. And so we're telling the browser we want you to take whatever is in day menu and compare it to our options. So we need some curly braces surrounding this entire structure, and they probably should be facing the right way. So I'm going to go ahead and open and close my curly braces so I don't forget to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to say the first case to look for is going to be Sunday. Now we're going to put a colon, that's the 2 dots, not the semicolon. And if it matches up, then we're going to say document.write the special, the special of the day is, and let me go ahead and copy that so I don't have to keep doing that over and over again. Like I said, I'm doing this off screen. So we're going to say the special of the day is lasagna for $5.95. Then what we're going to do is we are going to type the command break, and it's going to tell it to break out of this structure. So if they type in Sunday, we'll execute this code and then it'll break out of our case. And so we just do this for the rest of the days of the week. And I'm going to do quite a bit of copying and pasting. I'm going to case Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All right, so we'll come in and we'll document that right, my statement. So on Mondays, we don't have anything to write because our restaurant is closed. So I'm going to copy and paste this on all of my days and just come in and fill in my data. And then I'm also going to cheat and copy in my breaks. I need to go ahead and come back and finish off my statements. You can see it's starting to get a little bit more complicated, but it's really just a lot of copying and pasting because each of these is pretty similar. If it matches the case, you document that, write out the special of the day, and then you break out. And so I'm just going to come in and quickly put in some of my code that I'm copying and pasting from another notepad document. And then on Saturday we have a different option. We get free entree, purchase of entree. So I need to close my quotes on this, I need to close my parentheses on this, and I need to put a semicolon. And again, I've got to be lazy and I'm going to copy that and put that on the end of each of my options. Okay, so that right there is the general case statement. You do a switch with what variable you're going to compare to, and then you put in all of the options. You can also have a default option instead of case. You could have default, sorry, that day doesn't make sense, or something like that, but we're going to go ahead and leave it at that. So I'm going to save this as menu, and we'll switch on over, see if I manage to do this one without any, whoops, I saved it as the wrong menu, as the wrong file save. Let me go back and do a file save as menu.html. Okay, so now let me go back to my browser and open that up. Menu that is an HTML document. And right off the bat, I get an error. So no code showing up is a problem. We could go back over to our code and try to find out where we went wrong. And that's the beauty of using one of these editors, is a lot of times you'll get used to the way the color combination is set up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this opportunity to show you some of the debugging tools. I'm using Chrome, and I'm going to go to More Tools, and I'm going to go to Developer Tools. And what it's going to do is it's going to show me my output here, and then on the console element, it's going to show me that I have a missing parentheses after an argument list, but it's going to tell me something hopefully very useful and tell me that it is in menu.html on line 11. So if I go back to line 11, I notice that I forgot a parentheses. So I can save that, go back to my browser, and I've accidentally opened up a developer tag. I'm going to reload it. Now my error goes away from the console, so I can close that if I want to. And I can tell it that I want to see what we're having for lunch on Wednesday. Special of the day is chicken marsala. If I reload and tell it Saturday, I click OK, and it tells me a free dessert with purchase of 2 entrees. Now, also remember to test gibberish or some made-up day of the week. And you'll see in this case, we get no output. And that's where we would probably go back and add a default option that would allow us to, it's kind of like the punt option. The default is going to be document.write. Sorry, I do not understand. Please re-enter the full day name. That way, if somebody entered Thurs instead of Thursday, then they could go ahead and do that. So we can save that, go back to our code, reload it, and any gibberish that we put in, it'll come up with our error message saying, I do not understand. So that right there is our switch statement. Like I said, it's useful when you have a lot of options. You don't want to say if Sunday, else if Monday, else if Tuesday, else if Wednesday, else if Thursday, etc., etc. You can set it up in the structure, which if you saw, lends itself a lot to copying and pasting code, save you time, save you money. So that is the switch statement.